Three, two. It's been recording. Are you doing the intro or am I?
You try it this time.
Welcome to Meri Cris podcast. About the end of the world or whatever. I'm Meri.
No,
And
I'm Mary.
all right, I was reading the script. I'm too.
I'm
Yes,
Mary.
yes, I'm
You're
Meri,
Chris.
and you're Chris. That's exactly what I was gonna say. That was right. I read it perfectly.
Welcome to the Mary and Chris podcast show. Podcast about the end of the world or whatever. I'm
Yeah,
Mary and this is Chris.
yeah. And today we're talking about whatever, because the world hasn't ended. But
Yeah.
I hear, all right, and this is from a good source, that it's going to end soon. Soon relative
Yeah.
to the time of the universe, I mean, there's, you know,
That's
eventually,
the tricky part, right?
right? I don't know what time, but sometime, I imagine,
Well,
maybe.
one of the things that I like to constantly remind myself of is that, people listen to podcasts for shits and giggles and for relatable topics that they can just drive to work or drive home from work listening to. And one of the relatable topics that I think we should talk about, Christian,
Giggling while you
is
shit.
who giggles while they shit?
Sometimes you have a funny noise come out. You're like, what the heck was that?
Do you ever? I live alone. I live with my two sons. No adult interaction on most days, work from home type stuff. And I will be cleaning the house or doing something and then realize that something is funny, that if another human existed near me in that point, I would make a joke and it would be funny. So I tell the joke in my head anyways, but then I start laughing out loud to my own joke.
I do that all the time.
Do you ever hear
Ex
yourself laughing?
No, I literally laugh out loud all the time. And I'll
Yeah,
even
that's what I'm
say the
saying.
joke. I'll even say the joke. Nobody's around. I'll say the joke and then laugh at my own joke because I think I'm
Yes.
funny.
Exactly. Who tells a joke that they don't think is funny? That's just bad comedy, right?
Well, you could tell a joke that's so unfunny and then keep going and then it gets funny.
I think the majority of my jokes are so unfunny that they're funny. But
I don't think you have any. I think all of your jokes are just so unfunny and they're so unfunny that it's just not funny anymore.
hey, regardless of what you think, I think they're pretty good. So while I'm scooting around my house like a little old lady and something comes up in my head and I tell myself my own joke and I laugh out loud, then I'll be like, ha 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 ha, oh, you're going crazy, bitch.
You're like, take it back a notch. People will think you're crazy. You don't have enough
Yes, and I'm
cats for
like,
this.
I'm like, oh my God. If somebody were to walk in on me right now, they would put me in an institution. Like this is it gets a little far sometimes.
And you never had that happen while you were shitting.
No, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real honest with you. When I think poops are funny, I usually take a picture and I send them to Christina.
Yeah, you sent me a poop picture one time.
Hey, sometimes they need to be documented.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive poop. I don't know what you ate or how much of it you ate, but I remember it wrapped around the entire bowl. And the angle that you took the picture from, I couldn't initially tell it was a toilet bowl. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And you're like, "It's my poop." And as soon as I read that, I could see exactly what it was, and it was a poop wrapped around the entire bowl.
Yeah, man.
That was
What's
disgusting.
well, what's better than having an enormous protein log dropped off and then having it be a ghost poop?
What's better than a ghost poop?
No, the double threat of it being enormous, intact, and then
It's just gone. It sank down it flushed itself.
no, like a ghost poop, like where you don't have to wipe. Like it just came out so
Oh, is that what you call a ghost poop?
perfectly. Yeah, that's what I call a ghost poop.
See, I would go more like towards ghost load, right? And think ghost poop, like it's like it didn't happen. Like I thought I had shit, but it was just a fart.
No, ghost poop is when you pooped, you know you pooped. There's evidence of you pooping except on your butthole. It's
There's
completely clean. That's so fucking wonderful. It's like, man, I don't even need a fucking toilet paper. It's just
I
gone.
I think that means you're dehydrated, and it was just a dry log.
Oh man, that means you're perfectly hydrated. So
No,
that it's not
you.
peanut butter and a shag carpet,
I think
but it's
that's
also not pellets.
well. There's definitely different types of poop based on what you eat. And the peanut butter poop, I feel like, comes a lot from breads, and you get that glutinous, sticky poo, and you need like twice as much TP to get it clean. But at that point, honestly, just jump in the shower.
Fucking gross.
Speaking of
No.
which, well, you wipe it down and then you just rinse it off like
This
a
is why your wife's
bidet.
mad at you.
Yeah, because I didn't buy a bidet. A bidet is an amazing thing.
Yes, there is a company out there, and I hope that they go
Sponsor
ahead and
us.
give us some money for
Yeah,
this.
sponsor us.
Yeah, it's called Tushy, and they sell bamboo toilet paper, and it's just part of this whole
Ouch.
ecosystem. Well, man, it's not that bad. It's a little thin. It's a little thinner than Charmin, but you don't feel as bad, right? And but when you realize their whole company is focused on just your tushy, and they have this bidet where you can tag it into the tank and the toilet seat, man. And it even got like an angler, and you can clean that whole thing. It's wonderful.
Clean that whole hole. I just hope it's not made out of bamboo. I feel like that would hold on to a lot of bacteria. Because maybe one day you had too much drink and you ate too
You know
much
what?
Taco Bell and it was an explosive poo.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
mm.
Sometimes they come out a little bit splattery.
I didn't look at the product sheet list, but I'm gonna say that the unit itself is plastic, not bamboo.
That would be
A little
probably.
hypocritical. However,
I
I
can't call them hypocrites. Now
do
they're going to sponsor us.
worry. Look, I'm one of these people. There's this whole holistic and save the earth and don't put chemicals in your body or in your environment and so on. And especially in the realm that I've been in for the last couple of years with a lot of moms. They don't want bleach in their house. They don't want these harsh chemicals in their house because they don't want their kids to transfer it into their mouth, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no.
Well, why wouldn't
When
you
it
want
comes to the
bleach?
kitchen and the toilet,
Bleach? Like
if
a.
it is dirty, bleach that shit.
Yeah, scrub it and bleach it. Get the big
Scrub
poo
it with
particles
bleach and
off.
then wipe it down with the bleach
No, I
again.
like to scrub it with some other kind of cleaning agent. I like the gel stuff that goes around the bowl with the weird nozzle tip. You know what I mean? So you can squirt up in the thing and get all the
The
lime
blue
buildup.
stuff.
Yeah. Clorox makes it. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Clorox toilet bowl cleaner gel status.
Yeah, well, I remember.
I also like. I just like turning the water blue, but I don't like those tablets that you put in the back of the tank.
Same, because like the tablets, it's almost like they put something in it that makes shit stick to the toilet seat. Like it gets dirtier visually, like
Yeah, it could be something. Maybe it's something
build
that's
up.
reacts with your water. Because I know I got like hard
It
water out here with a lot of iron in it, so you get that red ring from
it's
just the
just
iron
build up,
stain.
man.
I don't know. I
Well,
guess I've
for
never sampled it and tested it, but I feel like in my case it would definitely be hard water building. It has to be. It doesn't have to be, but what I would think is that it would just be like hard mineral deposits.
whatever it is, there's a an element that you're adding into the water that different elements in the water cling to, and it just makes your toilet bowl dirtier. But this tushy thing, I really do like because I'm like toilet paper ain't getting it clean enough. And they got the wet wipes, but then
Well,
it's like, but you can't flush the wet wipes, so you got to just have a trash can full of wet shit in your house,
yeah,
or
or
you
you
can
could
use
bury it.
this
You want to be real.
bidet. Fuck is gonna bury it?
You want to be real eco friendly. You can make a one that recycles the water even.
Yeah, or just stop shitting.
So there's that. And if you want to stop shitting, you stop eating.
Well, to your point though,
Yeah. Plus, I
I
think I think food is not all that good for you. That's why I'm weaning myself off of it.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you
Food
think
and
about it,
water. I
yeah,
don't like to be dependent. My therapist told
yeah,
me I was codependent, and I said, "Yeah, you know what, I am." So I decided to stop eating, drinking, and breathing.
yeah. I mean, think about it, right? Anybody that's ever eaten food or drinking water, they've
Has died.
died. They've died,
Mm.
right? So, what you can extrapolate from that data is that eating food and drinking water kills you.
This
Exactly.
is why yeah, right?
Yes. So that's why I'm weaning myself off of food. I'll start with food, then I'll go with water.
We know how that goes. This
Yeah, yeah.
podcast might not
Fact.
last for too much
Fact.
longer, people.
Here's a fact. You can live the rest of your life without drinking water.
Fact.
Fact.
Well,
Speaking
I
of
don't know. I'm
food,
not going to
though,
stop drinking water. No, but
no,
let me get
you
back
need
to
to
this
drink
sushi
more
thing.
water.
I hate that phrase. But I do worry about I love the tushy. It goes underneath your toilet seat and then it just like shoots out and you feel so clean. However, I do worry about the splashback and I'm like bleached it all daily.
You worry about the splashback when you're taking a dump?
No, when your shit's being sprayed off your bunghole.
I think that's what the angle was for. You'd pick the right angle so it would splash downwards, right?
I don't know, but then you think about men with testicles that lay low, it could be
I
spraying the poop right onto the wall of your testicles. So it's like
I typically
splashing
don't think
back.
about men's testicles and how low they hang in regards to the
Oh,
splash of their bidet.
well, that's what this
But
podcast is for, to get
but
you to think
maybe
about
I
things you hadn't
should.
think about.
Yeah, yeah. I do think about I do think about quite often this fancy ass toilet slash bidet that talks to you, and it warms the water so it's like the perfect temperature of your body. So that way, when it does spray, you're not getting like cold water splashing on your bum. You're getting like the perfect temperature water, so you just feel the pressure of the water running on you, right?
Could you
And
imagine
and
if you were
then
like getting it on with the broad and you're like, oh, yo, hold on, let me take care of this. Go in 15 minutes, take your poop. And you're like, I'm going to make sure it's really clean. And then it shrivels up because the water's too cold. How are you going to explain that one?
just tell her that the water was really cold and it was deep
You know,
too.
some women don't believe that.
That's fine. Some men don't believe it either.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know what other men think about when their penis gets in cold water. But I feel
What
like
do
it's.
I talk about?
What do you mean?
In my older years, and for those of you that are just coming on or new to this podcast, uh,
Everybody's new. This is their second episode.
whatever. So I'm Mary. Chris is my brother. We are 6 years apart. And you're the second in line. I'm the youngest. And
And the shortest.
no, I'm the short.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm
Focus
saying.
on,
Yeah, yeah, I was saying
yeah,
you are the shortest. I'm the
true.
prettiest.
Okay. But
And no arguments against it.
yeah, you're pretty.
I'm very pretty. The prettiest.
But this podcast kind of came about because as we get into your older years and you get closer to your sibling and you realize that the age difference doesn't really matter, but you've found somebody on the face of this planet that came out of the same neighborhood as you, was the same fucking culture as you, and it's just so much easier to vibe and like talk about stupid shit on.
Yeah, yeah, and when we start to get mad at each other, we can't really like be like, I hate you, and because we're related.
Or or we can, be like, I fucking hate you. I can't wait till the next family reunion where I drown your ass in the kiddie pool.
There's that too. That's why I don't keep kiddie pools around.
Yeah, but one of the things that I've noticed is not only as I've gotten, because my entire life, even in my 20s, it would always come as a surprise to me when dudes were attracted to me because I always saw myself as a little sister.
Right, and they were like, why
And
aren't they attracted to Chris? He's the prettiest.
those were my thoughts.
Exactly.
But it would be like, oh, I'm a girl. I forgot that. I forgot I was a girl and I forgot you were a dude. It was always just like little sister, Big Brother. Any guy I've ever met has always gone into the Big Brother category until they were like, yo, but I ain't your big brother. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But one of the things that I've noticed as an adult, realizing the differences between male and female is that males talk about shit, but females will talk about some dirty shit. There are no fucking boundaries in a female's conversation.
I think that's a pretty general statement there. Maybe narrow it down. All the bitches you know.
No way. No, I think once you get to be a friend with and I'm making an assumption here. If a dude says, "Yo, this is somebody that I can be friends with. We're gonna be. I'm a male. He's a male. We're gonna be male companions
Yeah, I'm a
as
dude and
like
he's a
friendships or
dude.
whatnot, like whatever. Like, but there are still boundaries that we do not cross for women. And I'm talking about every female conversation I've had in my life has always crossed this threshold of, yo, we're friends now. Friends have no boundaries. I mean, you're sharing panties, you're sharing
Gross.
lipsticks, you're
I would
sharing.
never wear someone else's underwear.
You might have to.
I would
Be,
just not wear underwear. There's always that option. Why the hell would I have to
if
wear
you
somebody
have your
else's underwear?
period, if
I
you have
I
your
don't
period
have
and you're
that.
going out, exactly. So you're going out on the town, you're like, yo, I really want to go out, but like, I ain't got a fresh pair. And it's like, okay, here, just take mine, panty liner, tampon, whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying, Christian, is that women have no boundaries. Once you mark somebody as a friend and they mark you as a friend, there's no boundaries.
Or when they mark you
None.
as an enemy.
Touche. But none, right? I've never had a female enemy. I've had bitches not like me,
I've
but
had plenty of.
nobody consider me
Well,
an enemy.
I wouldn't consider them enemies either, just because I could crush them easily with my not
Yeah,
massive
but we're talking about
fists, not
female
of
on
massive
female
size.
relationship.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
You're nasty.
Yeah.
But but you see my point is that when it comes to the sex topic, and this is really what I'm getting at, is that males will say, "Oh, you know what? That's my lady. We're not going to share that with some other dudes." Like real men, no. No, I don't talk about certain things
No,
with
no,
my friend.
you kind of say, yeah, we got it on, and you don't really go into any other squirrely details. But I know chicks will be like, yeah, we had sex and he did this and he did that, and this is the shape of his penis, and he has this much hair, and he has like 12 freckles in this weird pattern right on his pubic region. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
That's 110% what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's why we don't do that. No, that's uncomfortable. Why would you ever do that? Why would you give up that kind of intimate information to somebody else?
What makes it what makes it like shareable and not shareable?
Well, I mean, if you take it outside of that intimate relationship, right? Now it's no longer an intimate relationship. It's now a public relations.
See, and that's where men and women, at least, and again, generalizing, my friends might be different, but no. Like, and
I
it's
think
funny
it's
that you
pretty
said,
common.
yeah, I do too. And it's funny that you said, like, oh, you know, this is the shape of it. Like, me and my girlfriends back in the day, we would nickname motherfuckers based on certain aspects. And if we didn't know them or care about them or something like that,
Did you
it
ever
would be
nickname anybody Cape?
no, I nicknamed somebody Christmas tree one time.
It was just because it was so hairy, or was it
No, it's just
conular?
like it was like the shape of his dick. It was like pointy. It was like pointy on top, and then it like got bigger at the base. It was
Like a
weird. It was
butt
like
plug?
fucking yeah,
That is
but
weird.
like smaller. And it was like my first round at it was banana dick.
You should have called him butt plug.
Yeah, but it wasn't in my butt,
Yeah, but it could have been.
sicko.
Who cares? It's the general shape. If you're nicknaming based off of shapes, like butt plug would have been fun. That would have been a cool
Well,
nickname. You could have just called him
the
butt
one that
plug
we
too,
just
or just
there
called
was
him
one
plug.
guy
But then we have like
there was
other
one guy we called bum clit.
bum clit.
Yeah, this wasn't one of mine.
This wasn't one of mine. How many of them were yours? I
Well,
don't
we'll
need to
get to that
know.
later.
We don't need to get to that.
A girlfriend of mine was dating this one guy, and he was from England, but he was also a skater. And
Ooh, did he have
I
some weird
guess,
accident that caused his scrot and his taint to get separated and they had to stitch it back together right at the fucking anus?
well, they didn't have to stitch it together, but it did. He landed on his skateboard so that the edge of it went right up between his cheeks and split part of his asshole.
Ooh,
And
ouch. Down to the scrot or what?
well,
Ooh,
it was
see,
like
that's
at
just
the
tingly. Ouch.
it was the bottom part of his butthole that was ripped, and when it scarred back up, the scar tissue kind of formed this
Oh, and I made like a skin tag?
ball of flesh. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that
And
happen before.
yeah, so but while they were being intimate with one another, she would be going down, or right before he would come, she would stick a finger up his butt
Oh.
and tickle his whatever, you
Yeah.
know?
I think
And
it's
it made,
the prostate.
well, it worked for him. But one time they were having sex and he was like, "Oh, yeah, rub my bum clit." And so his nickname, because he wanted her to stick a finger up his butt while he came, but his nickname was forevermore Bum. In fact, I don't even know the dude's real name, but
That's
it was Bumclit.
that's kind of sad that he made his own nickname so embarrassing.
I'm pretty sure, though, that he didn't think his woman would go into such detail.
Well, he should have
Little
known
did he
better.
fucking know. That's what I'm saying.
Like I've
I'm
shared
like,
some details, but never stuff like that.
yeah,
It's more like dumb shit, like stopping in the middle and clapping, like "Yay!"
a bitch. Somebody did that.
I did that.
Like a fucking walrus.
Yeah.
I'm about to come. Ah!
No, I didn't. It was.
Yay.
Yeah. It was fun. It was like back and forth bouts of just like pure hysteria. We were both just rolling, laughing, and then just like a complete and utter passion. It was an interesting time. It was fun.
Yeah.
But
Well,
even
like
that, like that's the level of detail that I would give.
exactly what I was gonna say is like that's as far as and it doesn't even make a difference. And that's, you know, sister, no sister. Like if I were a dude right now, I don't think you would go past that.
No, with anybody.
But like females, no.
I don't even think
We
I would
will
go
tell
past
you
that with the
how
person that I
the
experienced it with.
no, man, bitches do.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I never understood quite why that there was that distinction between them.
I don't know either.
You don't know?
No, I'd have to think some more on that. But I don't really want to.
Well, of course you
All
don't,
I
because
know
you're
is that the lights are going to be off, or she's going to be blindfolded from now on.
why?
So she doesn't have any stories to tell other than she was blindfolded and the lights were off.
Man, it doesn't just go with looks, bro. It goes with feel. It goes with smell. I mean,
Oh gosh, I'm just gonna put her in a defamation chamber. You stay here. You have no stories except it was good.
fucking waterboard the bitch after. And what are you gonna tell your
Hey,
friends,
some people are into that.
man? Well, I told you about my one friend who was into like a little, not like dominatrix or anything like that, but she liked to be choked. She liked to be hit, spanked, that kind of
Yeah, a
shit.
little bit rougher, yeah.
Then we were talking about she comes into work one day and she's talking about this guy like, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Like, can't even express how good it was, so on and so forth. Next week I see her at work. I said, hey, yo, how's your dude doing? And she goes, oh man, we broke up. I say, really? You were so excited about him. What happened? She said, well, I like rough sex and all, but he was going at it. And he just she says, but he took it too far. He straight up punched me.
You asked for it. You asked for it again. He said harder. Okay.
Man.
This reminds me of that Sam Kinison skit. He's,
I don't know that one.
oh, he's talking about just having sex with some chick, and she's like, harder, harder. So he starts hitting it harder. And then she's like, harder, harder. And then Sam Kinison starts screaming, ah! And he says, I pulled out and I started punching her right in the pussy. Yeah. It goes on. You should definitely check that skit out. It's pretty good. He eventually
It's,
starts running a truck into her, so it's great.
well, that's quite the story that this bitch had, but she was like, he just punched me. And I was like, yo, that was like a bald fist trying to draw blood. I think he like cut her lip a little bit. And she's like, that's too much.
Well, you got to test the boundaries. You never know, right? You don't know how
Yeah,
far you
man.
can go until you've reached that point and then past it.
Yeah, well,
Now I'm curious
we
about,
all
well,
got stories.
I heard from around the way stories from other chicks that told me that this chick was saying this stuff about me, obviously.
Yeah.
But also back to why guys share this and women or don't share this and women do. I think that's you hit the nail precisely on the head. Is you asked. You asked about her boyfriend, what was going on, and then she told you. I bet you if you didn't ask, it wouldn't offer it up freely. Or
I
they
don't
might
think
be,
so.
or they might be less likely to, right?
It would be just a different point in the conversation, to be honest. Like, it's just something to talk about. And that's what
Yeah,
I wonder. I'm like, I know what me and my girlfriends talk about at brunch. I don't know what dudes talk about, though, around the barbecue pit. Like, what are you guys talking about?
around the barbecue
Guns,
bit. Yeah, we're
trucks,
talking about the
cars.
barbecue. What's going on? You're burning the meat. Are you gonna flip
Yeah,
that
see.
over, or
Yeah.
are you gonna put
But,
any seasoning on that, or well? And
men and women,
but yeah, I think that guys just don't ask.
perhaps you guys should start.
No, I'm good with it. So I'm not going to
It
share that. I'm
opens
not
up,
going to share that information about the woman I'm with some other guy. That's for me and me
maybe.
alone.
See, and that's like the mental difference, I think. And you're not the first guy I've heard say that. I've had pretty much every dude I've ever, and not just like intimately known, but friends, like guy friends.
Well,
No, it's a
yeah. Well,
no
I think
go.
another difference to think about it this way is how often do you hear a guy ask about somebody else when you meet one of your dude's friends? Right? They're like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" Right? They don't say, "Hey, how's your sister?" Unless they're trying to smash your sister. Right? Like you'd be like, "Oh, how are you? How's everybody else doing?" Blah blah blah. Guys are like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what it is other than there is a difference between the way that females and males talk about sexual encounters. And I am grateful that I am on the female side because it is just a plethora of comedic relief when you hear about some of these like encounters with between men and
I don't
women
know.
and out there.
My
But
favorite comedic relief about any situation regarding any of that is I had a girl one time tell me she wanted to be. How did she put it? She said, "So I was thinking like friends with benefits," and I kind of looked at her and I said, "You mean like 401k and a dental plan?" That's funny to me. Didn't get the dental or a 401k, but
you didn't even get dental?
nope,
Well,
nope, no teeth.
you're already married
she
now,
was
but
she was decent. She didn't use teeth. I can give that to her.
was she?
She
But
was.
that's why we do these podcasts, why we decided to is because, this shit is relevant.
I think it's
Don't care who
irrelevant.
you are. Nah, it's relevant.
Maybe not.
Well, we appreciate your time spending with us talking about bullshit
Yeah, whatever.
and whatever. But I'm Mary.
Yes, yes. I'm Mary. That's Chris.
No,
I'm
man, I'm
Chris.
Mary. You're Chris.
Yes, that one.
And please, please, please tell us in the comments, men and women, one, why you think men and women talk about sex differently, but also give us your best fucking sex story. That'll just make
Nah,
us chuckle.
we don't hear that.
Please. Nah,
Yeah,
don't
chuckle
listen to
ones.
him,
Give us
y'all.
chuckle ones.
Yeah, chuckle
Like,
ones.
have you ever been farted on?
Me, personally?
Well, no, in the comments. If you ever been farted on while while intercourse was occurring? Put it in the comments. Or don't. I just imagine you thinking about the last time you got farted on during intercourse. And that's how you get pink eye.